guys, hey, I'm back again. I know I don't usually do more than one video per day, but I think this kind of warranted me to do another video today. I've been kind of marinating on this subject for a few days, well, at least 2 days, and I usually get Yuki's behind me, like, all peeking over, like, what you doing? What you doing? I usually feel like talking about something when I've spent a lot of time by myself and I've been able to reflect and stuff like that, and I'll take my glasses off for a few minutes. I know, I look crazy without my eyeglasses. You know, I'm spitting all over my face, but that's okay, because I can do that. So I had an incident at the produce market the first time I went, which was not technically yesterday, but the day before. Me and my husband actually went while his mom was still here, and I was going to go down there and get my produce then. So they have like a little tiny food truck that's there, and Matthew hadn't eaten yet. And I was like, hey, honey, while I'm in here, why don't you roll up over that food truck and just see what they have and see, you know, get yourself some lunch. And so, you know, I muster the courage to walk inside this place by myself. Mind you, sorry guys, I just don't like how it's creeping down. Mind you, this place is a lot bigger than any you know, stand that I've ever been to. It's quite large. You know, the bins are humongous, and there are tons of people, tons and tons of people. Like, you can't turn the corner without running into like 10 people. I mean, it's just a real busy place. People come in and out all the time. So I had taken my medicine about 30 minutes before I had to leave the house, so I had enough medicine in me to calm me down enough to where I could shop. And then knowing that my husband was only, you know, like maybe 30, 40 feet away from me, I knew that, you know, he would be coming towards me soon, so I'd be okay. So I walked in, you know, I got a small cart, and I just started looking through, you know, vegetables and stuff like that. And, you know, I picked up a bunch of bags of stuff, and I started filling my grocery bags. Excuse me. So, I went over to the eggplants, and I started looking through the eggplants because I love eggplant, but the last couple times I've made it, I made it terrible. Awful. It was awful. So I was kind of on the fence on whether or not I wanted these eggplants. And I had kind of, sorry, ow. It's eye strain because I can't see without my glasses. But if I put my glasses on, you guys can't see my eyes because shiny. Distractosaurus Rex strikes again. Okay, we'll try it again. Anyway, I had bent over to grab something. I think I dropped a bag, and I bent over to grab the bag off the floor, and then I stood up to grab the eggplant, and I was looking at the eggplants, and I put the eggplant back, and when I put the eggplant back, somebody grabbed my arm. Okay, somebody grabbed my arm, and they pinched my ass. And I'm not talking like honk honk, you know, your ass is cute. I mean, like, pinched the shit out of my ass. And my husband is notorious for coming up behind me and scaring me, or coming up behind me and like grabbing me and honking my butt, or coming up behind me and like, you know, kissing me and stuff like that. He's notorious for that. So I thought that, you know, he did it, and he didn't realize how hard he did it. So of course, you know, I wheel around like I'm gonna, you know, because that's my first instinct, is like, you know, protect myself. So I'm gonna hurt somebody, because it hurt me, and like, it didn't hurt like it, I have a bruise. Like, I have a bruise. That's how hard this person pinched me. So when I wheeled around, like, what the is wrong with you? There was nobody there. There was no, I mean, there were people there, but like, Matthew was not there. So there was like 4 Mexican guys like in my direct vicinity, like in my bubble, you know, like I have a personal space bubble that's probably a lot larger than most people because I have panic attacks. I don't like being touched. I don't like being touched. I don't like it. I don't like people brushing up against me. I don't like people in my fucking bubble. I don't like it. And I certainly don't like it when people feel like that it's okay to fucking touch a woman when she's out by herself. I don't think that's okay. Like, I don't think that's all right at all. And like, I'm sure this person in his head thought, you know, hey, I'm gonna make this woman feel good about herself by honking her ass, and then, you know, I'm angry. I'm angry. So when I get angry, I cry. So I'm trying not to do that part because people take that as me being sad. I'm not sad. I'm mad. I'm mad. But, you know, my emotions are ridiculous. So, needless to say, I roll around and there's like 4 Mexican guys like all up in my personal space bubble. And then you've got like some kids and then, you know, their wives and, you know, just there's a whole bunch of freaking people like in my area, and nobody's making eye contact with me, and nobody is close enough to me that I can discern who it is. So I immediately lose my shit. I immediately like lose my mind, and like Matthew was nowhere to be seen. I was just violated. I was just touched. You know, my PTSD starts like instantly kicking in, and like I drop everything, like everything I had in my hand except for my pocketbook, and I start trying to make it towards the door. Now, when I'm trying to make it towards the door, I'm already starting to cry. Like, I'm already starting to like, so like I can't see, and like my makeup is running, and like people are staring at me like, what the hell's wrong with that girl? And like, you know, my face is all flushed, and you know, I'm starting to hyperventilate, and I'm looking for the car, and I'm looking for where the hell is my husband, and like I'm looking because the food truck was at the end of like the little lot, and I'm looking for him, you know, and I'm starting to like really panic at this point, because number one, I don't see my safety, and my safety is my husband, and it was stupid of me for me to deviate from him. It was stupid of me to think that I should ever be without him. I don't know why that day I decided that it was a good idea, because it really wasn't a good idea. So, you know, I'm running back to the car, and I don't see my husband, and I start like freaking out. You know, I start like really freaking out. Like I'm hyperventilating, and I'm getting dizzy, and like my vision's starting to black, which means that I'm going to pass out. I do it all the time. I work myself up into a frenzy, and then lights out. Lights out for like, you know, it's usually around 30 seconds to about 2 minutes, depending on how bad it gets. And when I wake up, you know, I'm just like, so luckily for me, we did not lock the car. So I hop into the car. I'm sitting there. I have my moment of like panic and screaming and just like, you know, completely out of my mind. And then, you know, he comes back to the car, and I immediately switch from being like scared to mad. I am mad that he wasn't there for me. I was mad that somebody touched me. I was mad that I didn't know who it was. And I was really mad that for me, it didn't feel like he was outraged enough. I was pissed that my husband was not completely and utterly outraged at the fact that someone else had their hands on his wife. Completely outraged. I mean, I was so angry at him. Like I didn't even want to be in the car with him. But I'm not rational. You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm that upset, I'm not really thinking like, what was he supposed to do? Like go in there and punch every guy in the face? Like what was I going to get him to do to go in there? Like, you know, I couldn't prove that somebody touched me. You know, I didn't know who did it. And of course, you know, I'm completely and utterly a gibbering mess at that point in time. So I wasn't giving him clear indications of what happened. I wasn't able to really talk about it for a while. I was just really angry, and then, I made him take me home. I was like, I don't even want to go back in there right now. And I made him take me home. And it's something I'm going to have to deal with, talking to my therapist. I know that some guys watch this, and I want you to watch this. I want you to understand that not all women are just dying to have your hands on them. Not all women that you might find attractive are just waiting for you to grab their ass. Like, not all women find that charming. I'm sure some do. I'm sure plenty of them do. I'm not one of them. I'm not desperate enough to have any kind of contact and be happy that you thought enough of me to grab me. Like, that's not how I should be treated. Like, you should never treat somebody like that. I'm not an animal. You don't pet me. Like, that was unacceptable. Like, I am ridiculously pissed that I was touched. And, after I calmed down, and after, I came home and took more medicine, because I was just not able to think without taking more medicine. I couldn't come back down without taking more medicine and talking to my mother-in-law, and she agrees with me. This is not the first time I have been inappropriately touched. I have been inappropriately not only touched, but inappropriately broached, talked to. It makes me not want to dress up. It makes me not want to put on makeup. It makes me not want to do my hair. It makes me not want to look good when I leave the house, because I don't like that attention. I don't like to be hit on. I don't like to be touched. I really don't like to be touched. Like, had I seen who did that, I probably would have punched the shit out of him. Had I seen, before I ran off, I probably would have broken something on his face, because that was how outraged I was that I was inappropriately touched. So I wanted to tell you guys about it. I wanted to know what you guys thought about it. I want to know, is anybody else, that has lost weight and started, making themselves look better and making themselves feel better and trying to, to be confident when you go out. Is anybody else dealing with this kind of stuff, or is it just me? Because all it does is fuel my agoraphobia. All it does is fuel my panic disorder. All this does is fuel my anxiety of being alone. And I don't know how to stop those feelings, and I don't know how to fix it, and I don't know if this is something that I'm going to have to deal with forever, or something I'm going to have to get over. Let me know what you think, and I appreciate you listening to me vent, but I thought that you guys would like to know what it's like sometimes, and I'll talk to you soon.